Hey everybody, let's talk guest characters. Yeah, I know. All right, we get it. Not everybody loves guest characters. I completely understand. As a Mortal Kombat fan first, I prefer Mortal Kombat characters, but we all know we're getting guest characters at this point. So let's talk about it, shall we? Since Mortal Kombat 9, we've seen a growing emphasis on guest characters in Mortal Kombat. MK9 had two guest characters, Kratos and Freddy Krueger. MKX had four guest characters, Jason, Alien, Predator, and Leatherface. And MK11 had five guest characters, Spawn, the Joker, Rambo, Terminator, and Robocop. It seems to be that most commonly we get 80s action heroes or horror characters, with the recent poll Ed put up on Twitter where he asked which guests from previous games would people most like to see come back, horror characters are the prevailing favorite. With that in mind, since it's Friday the 13th today, and someone asked me about guests in the comments of my most recent video, which, just by the way, if you ever want to see me do a video on something, just ask, I'd like to list the horror guest characters that I'd like to see in Mortal Kombat 12. Now, it's no secret that I'm a fan of horror. Leading up to MKX, I was practically begging for Jason to make the roster. For this list, however, I'm not planning on including any repeats, so no Freddy, Jason, Alien, Predator, or Leatherface. While I gladly welcome some of them back, especially Jason since 1, he's my favorite, and also 2, I don't think they captured him nearly as well as they did most of the others, this is about some fresh blood making the cut. Fresh blood making the cut. See what I did there? On to the list. First off, we have Chucky. Now, I'm not sure how the hell they'd make it happen, but I love Chucky's personality. His quips would be on the level of Johnny Cage's, and he seems like he'd be a ton of fun. Although he's super unlikely, just because of his size causing issues gameplay-wise, I'm sure, there's no doubt with his current TV series and long-running franchise that he'd sell remarkably well and be a fan favorite. If they do bring him in, it would be great to see Tiffany as well. Hell, have him riding on her shoulders. Hitbox problem solved. My second pick would be my second favorite horror icon, and that's Michael Myers. It's a bit crazy we haven't gotten him yet, considering his iconic status is near unmatched, and with his recent trilogy of movies to tie into, you would have thought he was a for sure inclusion. Unfortunately, it appears they tried to kid him already, and according to Ed, they were turned down. I hope this is Ed just trying to throw us off, or perhaps he was just referring to a past attempt like MK11, but it feels really odd overall. I mean, he's been in Call of Duty and Dead by Daylight, so to turn him down for Mortal Kombat just feels strange. My third pick is going to Pinhead. Of all the remaining horror icons, Pinhead feels like he has the greatest chances to make it into MK12. His aesthetics are a good fit, and you could do some fun stuff with the Cenobites and the puzzle box. And Ed even mentioned his name has been brought up multiple times. For my fourth pick, I'd love to see Ghostface. With the requel coming out last year and then the sequel to that coming this year, it feels like it's a good opportunity for some cross-promotion. Ghostface is extremely popular. The character was featured in Call of Duty and Dead by Daylight recently, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to have the character as sort of a tag team like Noob Smoke were in Deception, where there's multiple Ghostfaces swapping in and out with that iconic voice talking crap the whole time. Number 5, to shake it up a bit, I'm gonna go with a bit of a curveball of sorts, and that's Vecna from Stranger Things. I think he'd be neat. Awesome tie-in potential, and he's got a power set that could be very fun to see, much like Ermac or Kenshi, but way more brutal and with some added assistance from the Upside Down. And finally, a fitting number 6 for this horror theme list would be The Thing. Imagine a shape-shifting monster that takes on the appearance of anything and anyone, with gruesome effects as it shifts forms. It could have a parry where it opens up its chest and chomps down on the opponent's limb. This would be absolutely sick visually, and they can let their creative juices go wild. We already got a taste of it with Devora's Fatality in MK11, let's go all the way with it. Lastly, as a bonus on the topic, how badass would it be to see the guests get their own stage and stage track, much like KI does? Haddonfield Street for Michael Myers, the Upside Down for Vecna, the clocks and tentacles, ash falling down. A remote research base in Antarctica for The Thing. Lots of potential there, and it'd really make the inclusion of these characters shine all the more. See, we can have this kind of conversation. We're all adults. Nobody has to get,